very emotional teams. Loud, when they get hot, they play confidently and they stay hot. Red needs to lock it in as we see, so far, a run back of the exact same thing, Nico on 1.
Yeah, and it is the Renekton banned away this time, so Robo will not be able to slam that one on R1. The Kai'Sa has been in Root's hand every game so far today, and he's going to take it again with still no Xayah to answer it.
Yeah, I mean, the Kai'Sa without a Xayah answer has just been dominant from Root. Not really much else to say about this. Also, the Azir coming through instead of the LeBlanc. I think I like this. Tinones on the LeBlanc still did a lot of work last game, but the early to mid game was pretty terrible. Oh, yeah. I'm not going to lie. So
it was tough.
I'm glad to see him just on something more team fight oriented, where I think that has been where the series has been decided.
Yeah, something that can maybe deal with the Zeri a little better if you can use the Emperor's Divide and play with the range to just try and shove her out, keep her from being able to dip and dive and get those burst fires off. But it's enough for Titan, still happy to pick up that Zeri, and he did play, you know, about 85% of a really, really good Zeri game. And it's going to go back to that well again. We'll see where things like the Alistar that has been hotly contested so far today are going to go down. What the jungle picks are going to be as well. The Maokai still unbanned. The Poppy still unbanned.
Ooh, interesting. Nautilus Denial comes through. I think Loud should just pick up something here like either Braum or Leona and be perfectly fine on this bottom side. They could go to something like the Maokai. We saw that dropped last game into the second phase of bans. Also, top lane blind pick for Robo here. If you wanted to get crazy and slam down the Olaf on match point, you absolutely could. But I think you don't want to let too many engaged supports get taken off. The 3 best are already gone, but it's Robo. I mean, come on. Who am I talking about right now? Yeah, that's what we do.
Bro, you gone full profit mode today, man. You just called these picks left and right. The Robo Olaf comes out, and the answer has to come from FNB. Is it just going to be Cassante? Probably, but I really hope it isn't. And now the Maokai still being left open here as well. So Loud will have that first pick in the second rotation to potentially look for that jungler. They forced the Red to ban it away from them last time as well.
Yeah, Alistar Leona should absolutely be the bans here. I don't think there's anything else that you can do if you're red. The problem is, that means you're giving up Maokai. That's why blind picking support in this meta is not very good, because a lot of stuff can be played, and you're not really able to deny that much. And I think if you get Leona, Kai'Sa, Azir, Olaf, what is Red to do against what is a very threatening Loud composition? Everybody happy to run forward.
Tough answer for Red to find right here. We're looking for their last ban right now.
The
Ivan was banned away, and it did force the Maokai. So the Leona is still up for Seos if he wants to take it. We'll see what he has decided to go for here. He has definitely been favoring those engaged supports, but he's a very versatile player. We know this. We know he has a deep pool, plenty of years of experience. Titles under his belt, 3 so far to his name. Let's see what he wants to go for. It is just the open Leona there, being snapped up.
It's way too strong. It gives you a favorable bot lane 2v2. Zeri Nautilus can't do anything to dislodge this. Root and Seos gonna have their run of the map. Seos having a great series so far today. You've got a very consistent mid matchup. I mean, FNB, you gotta show me something alongside Aegis that can take over the game, because I'm really concerned about Red's ability to stifle Loud's aggression. Rumble has been a champion that we have not seen either of these top laners play the entire year, and it is also yet to be played in playoffs. Mysteriously absent on 13-15 despite still being powerful. And Elise and Wukong, something to pair with it. That is the kind of 2v2 that I need to see out of Red to fight back.
It is very mysterious to us, the fact that the Rumble has gone untouched so far on 13-5. It didn't get touched on the patch. Some of the other strong top laners got tamped down a bit as well, and there were so many massive Rumble games from so many of our top laners in the second round robin. And now FNB has something he can do a bit of work with, as it is the Trundle steal away instead for Aegis.
I don't love this Trundle pick. I'm wondering if this is a denial so that it discourages a Croc Poppy and instead forces him onto something more aggressive. But the thing is, Trajan, look at Red's comp. They can totally take an aggressive jungler. They've got scaling mid-bot, an aggressive topside, aggressive support. This Lee Sin pick is going to try to break the game open. I think Aegis maybe should have just snapped this one up himself, but the fact remains, you have got to get something going for FNB and MV, or Loud is just going to run you over on their signature champions.
These drafts, man, they are just not staying within the rubric. They're not coloring within the lines here today. Are Red and Loud. These top sides on either sides are insane for this game number 3 in the winner's side of the bracket. So remember, anyone, if Red loses here today, they're not out. They go down into the loser's bracket to face the winner of VKS and INTZ. But they would love to stay in that winner's side. They've got Pain waiting for them ahead in the winner's finals. And both of these teams have put their time in, enjoying previous playoffs, just taking turns kind of pounding on Pain for the last few splits.
That has really been the name of the game. And I'm sure Pain right now sitting and looking at the series and just thinking, damn, no way it happens again, right? Loud. Yeah. They're fairly new, but very dire enemy, as that is quickly becoming one of the most classic rivalries in the CBLOL. I think Loud, the real reason they want to beat Red, not for that 3-peat, nothing like that. They just want to beat down on Pain again. Yeah,
they can't wait. They can't wait for Grands. They want to get another shot at them just to make sure that it is clear who is on top, the defending champions right now, as we're heading into game number 4. Red's tournament winners bracket life on the line. Loud with another game to lose if they do, and they almost lost the last one, let's be honest, but they were able to clutch it out, and now they've put such confidence into that top side with the Olaf and the Lee Sin, back to the reliable picks in the Kai'Sa down bot lane. They would love to wrap up a 3-1 here.
And I've got to be honest with you, Trajan, you can't tell me that blind Olaf on 3 from Loud was anything other than ego. But you know what? I love it. You're on match point right now. Again, an emotional team. When they're feeling themselves, they play confident and aggressive. And it gets Robo on his signature champ with the chance to knock Red down to the lower bracket. Ghost Exhaust on this Olaf, Trajan.
Exhaust? Wow, no flash needed.
That is crazy.
FNB with the Ignite as well, and so Rumble does not have much ability, right? He's got a bit of a speed and shield on his W, but he has the flash, doesn't have a TP as well. And if he gets caught up by the undertows early on, it could be very dangerous for him. And Robo might be able to exploit that, but of course Rumble does have that strong early trading power of his own. If he can manage to dodge the skill shots and fire back with damage himself, FNB could set Robo behind, and then a weak Olaf going into Azeri doesn't really feel very great.
And that is the thing. This game will most certainly be decided in the top matchup. I mean, obviously, Titan, you can't do what you did last game. Well, maybe get fed like you did last game. Just don't do what you did after that. But I mean, FNB or Robo, one of these two champions is going to be absolutely useless as the later stages of the game progress. And the thing I would have to assume about this Exhaust is, you mentioned if you get an axe landed on you, you can't get away. Well, Exhaust removes the skill check of the Undertow. Just exhaust him first, then you've got the chain slows coming through, and with the Lee Sin flying into your lane, yeah, you're dead. And Croc rather, starting Raptors, Red Krugs, might go for a cheeky early gank on that top side too if he's feeling it.
So the level 1 engage from Seos there, trading heavily into Titan and Frosty. Of course, this area not as strong as the Kai'Sa early on, but they're going to get level 2 first, I think, if they can just about Frosty with the early Ignite. Yes, to level 2, in with the hook, but he needs to get around the minions. Titan getting body blocked to the burst fires right now. His level 2 is secured by Seos and Root. Flashing in, it's burst blood for Root. Red wanted the fight, but they come out the losers.
Wow, Root and Seos understanding the 2v2 better than their counterparts, Trajan, as they stand tall with the level disadvantage and they fight back to get Root that first blood. It's another 2v2 death for Titan. And hey, remember that early topside appearance from Croc that we were talking about, Trajan?
Oh, Ignite's gone down on topside, plus the exhaust. Both junglers here too. Robo's very low, trying to ghost to safety. Remember, he has no flash. He can't get around this turret. But FNB, too far back, has a wave to pick up. And FNB managing this top lane very, very well. Both the junglers getting involved. Frosty is now rocked up as well. Does Croc? No! We'll jump back to safety. The safeguard from Croc keeps them from going down.
Frosty really playing well here, as well as Aegis. It doesn't matter that they don't get the kills. Robo has to base. No teleport to get back. This is a really good position for FNB. Aegis wisely choosing to drop his top camps, run straight top on the stacking wave so that Croc cannot get aggressive. Really, really good cover by the jungler of Red. Keeps FNB not just in this game, but marginally ahead.
There's another good early plan from the red jungler. And that bot lane fight, if it had gone their way, they'd once again be set up for a very strong early game. But as it stands, they now have to respect Root and Seos down there. And Titan and Frosty, we were talking about how rough their laning phase has been all through the split. And today it looked so much better. They were getting advantages every game, playing the 2v2s out so well. And at the critical moment on match point, they start to return to their losing ways. Yeah. This is not the time to be doing it.
I mean, it's so unfortunate, too, because I think Titan and Frosty played that very well. But, again, Root and Seos, they just understood their spikes better. They knew that they wouldn't die, and they would win after level 2 despite losing out so hard in the early part of the engagement. It's just really great understanding of the matchup and a fantastic punish on the overextension from Red. And I mean, it just puts Root in a fantastic spot. Outside of game 1, without the Xayah, Titan has not had an answer for this Kai'Sa so far this series.
That's really been solid for Root right now as a hook lands in onto Seos, but they got to Titan as well. With no summoners, and Root isn't able to deal much damage to the red AD carry just yet. It must be said, the red bot lane still controlling the wave. There's no jungle attention down here, and that 2v2 still looking all right for them. As this top lane has been getting real awkward right now while we've been talking about it, Hawk. Those flashes over the wall from Aegis. Croc with some weird vision. Envy's rocked up here. There's a dive, but no ults. It's about to get pretty sketchy. Tinones with the TP to make sure nothing goes down, and Robo should be able to get these minions.
Yeah, they have to get Robo this farm. Again, one of these top laners is going to become useless. That's that's Sonic Wave.
He's been tagged, and there's the Pillar of Filth, though, to slow him down as Envy loses his flash. FNB tagged by the Undertow himself. Aegis turns around, sees the potential threat here. The Flame Spitter fires back again. It is just, it's real awkward up here, man.
Yeah, but it's not good for Loud when their Lee Sin is forced to play cover duty. Has to make sure that Robo can pick up that wave. Tino's even expanding the teleport to make sure he doesn't get dove, but I mean, that's pretty good for Red. Their scaling is very good this game between the Rumble, the Nico, and the Zeri alongside a very beefy front line. Now, Loud, they have scaling in their own right, but this top side going to fall off so substantially. And it goes back to what we've been talking about last game. Trajan, for whatever reason, on Red side, Loud has really struggled to find early proactivity. It's been a lot quieter between these two teams in every game that's not game 2, and I don't really know the reason for that, but Red, regardless, covering extremely well, frustrating the game plan of their opponents.
Yeah, we used to know Croc, as there's the equalizer to cancel the recall. Bit of BM there from FNB. I'm going to keep him around in the lane without ultimate. Robo having a struggle up there as Envy has been receiving a lot of gank pressure in this series and has probably sniffed it out by now, doesn't get caught out. But as you say, Hawk, Croc has really not been able to get much done in the early stages, right? This used to be a jungler who was so active, so chaotic, so psychotic in his early pathing that he would be able to crack teams open and gank them in ways they've never been ganked before, kind of like River does in the LCS, but it's just been kind of held under wraps here. Aegis has been doing a great job tracking him and countering his plans, and on the Lee Sin particularly, we can't really afford to be getting nothing done.
It's extremely true, and Loud, not even feeling confident enough to start the dragon. You saw Croc walk up to it, hit it once, and say, maybe not. I'm just going to go farm. And I know I've been critical of full clear Lee Sins in the past, and I will say, Trajan, I don't think this is a full clear Lee Sin. Croc has tried. It's just not worked so far. No sort of advantage is being taken, and I want to give, for a moment, a lot of credit over to FNB for the way he's played this series. He's been losing to Robo, but he's been losing very gratefully. In this game, with the help from his jungler and his support, is actually ahead. Keeping Robo without the teleport off of quite a few of these waves and getting a 20 CS lead now.
Yeah, 3 games out of 4, he has been put in the weakest position in the draft, had to blind pick or pick a losing lane to give advantages to the rest of Red, and as you say, has been losing very graciously and been straight up winning when he's given the tools to do so. He had a good Renekton game himself. It wasn't necessarily his fault that the game fell apart, and the Rumble now into the Olaf, despite the risky position he's in, has been doing excellently and forcing Croc to come and defend, as you pointed out. Red now onto this dragon. Shouldn't be any contest. Croc is once again back on the top side, so FNB's going to have to play for himself for a little bit.
Yeah, and this is a really big dragon to take as well, because with the Herald on the map, if you're able to rotate members up, Loud, they have a strong Herald fight, but so does Red. Fighting Herald against the likes of Rumble can be very intimidating, and Red knows it.
Getting some poke onto Tinnos as well. Doesn't go amiss.
This is going to be a 5-on-5.
FNB clearing it away. The rotation's coming through from Root as well. Red, they've opted into this one. Loud have the vision. Loud have positions all around them.
Yeah, I mean, Trajan, neither one wants to give this up. Olaf, Rumble, two champions that want to scrap.
Right into the fight. Beautiful equalizer. The red carpet completely blocks the rotation from Loud as the support falls. Canids is there looking for the Titan. In goes Robo trying to get damage down. Who's protecting Titan? They've managed to kill the Oath. Peel back from Red is pristine. And they'll walk away with the Herald and the kills.
Really great sense of, I mean, just confidence from Red right there. They held their nerve as Loud collapsed around them, and they got 2 kills and the Rift Herald off the back of it. A tremendous early advantage for Red once again in this game. So nicely played. Cannot wait to see this replay as Loud shows up. And again, both these teams have a brilliant Herald fight, but Rumble, strongest champion in the game at this point, catches up Seos, who does not have the Solar Flare to engage. But Loud sees a health bar disadvantage and says, hey, guys, we can still do this. But who is supposed to start this fight when Seos is already gone? So Robo goes in, it's essentially 1v5, and he gets burned down by FNB once again. 2 kills now over to this Rumble, and it puts it Red in a very good spot.
I don't want to say if Olaf had Flash, he probably would have gotten that kill, but he didn't have it.
I don't know. If he didn't have exhaust, he would have died faster, though, to be fair.
That's actually fair. He's going to get crisped up by FNB, but the point, I guess, being at the heart of this is the exhaust did not help him win the lane. It did not help him get an advantage in this game. He is super behind. He's the most behind of any Loud member, and now he doesn't have the Flash later on. He's going to have to get great use out of this exhaust on maybe Titan or FNB later on to justify this, because he's so vulnerable right now.
He really is, and I mean, Titan can completely ignore him. Sit in his face and hit this tower. Robo just forced to pick up the scraps.
Seos goes in and actually gets a lot out of that. A single Zenith Blade flashes out, but gets the cleanse from Titan, gets the ult from him as well. A lot of value for that player's Root in the 1v1 isn't faring much better than Robo did.
Yeah, you know, getting barbecued, not my ideal Sunday afternoon, Trajan. I don't think it's Root's ideal Sunday afternoon either, as into blowing the cleanse and the ulti to get out of that. It's pretty even trade across the board. Red, they get a couple plates, so favorable for them in the end, and I'm really expecting for things to slow down, but Loud, they don't want it to. They need to try to find some sort of avenue back in this game. I'm looking at the shutdown on a flashless FNB to potentially be that window, as if things keep going like this, I mean, Red is completely content to just play for the 5v5.
FNB is just uncontested up here. He is, you know, Loud are not a big fan of the barbecue, but FNB he just wants the grill, man. He's just sitting up in top lane, just wants the grill. Just let him have him his own good Sunday afternoon, cooking up anyone who shows up in front of him.
Yeah.
And he's almost got that first item.
I just got a great idea for a skin, okay? Grill Master Rumble. It's just like, he's got like a pit barbecue, you know? Like, and he roasts people, and I don't know, shoots, the taser could be like, barbecue sauce. I don't know, I'm getting I think I'm losing the plot here, but
we've given you the concept, okay?
That.
You guys work out the details.
Yeah. They've got all the creative people that could really iron it out. I'm the idea guy, okay? You know, I'll take my $50 stipend for that, and you guys can have it, okay?
I'm big picture, right? I'm an esports consultant. I don't have any actual skills, right?
There you go.
Like,
yeah.
So we are getting waves crashed in here. Root on this bot side. A lot of rotations, I think, coming through from Red to try and save this one. Seos keeping watch in the tri-brush. As we do check on some inventories right now. Red, they've got over 1,000 gold to lead. They've got the dragon. We have some items coming through, but Loud are actually in a better spot right now in terms of those spikes. They've got the crown and the static, so they're in a pretty safe spot, right? They can clear the waves and avoid some of that burst.
Red, though, want to make a play on bot.
Ooh. I guess it's fine.
Close, but no cigar. Dredge line goes wide. Frosty picks Juke. Seos picks walk in a straight line and ends up getting away with it. Of course, at the pro level, you know, it's not... you know, maybe it sounds like I'm giving the players too much credit, but at this level of play, it's not so much a miss as it is a mind game. You know, 50-50, he either jukes or he doesn't. This time, Seos did not, ends up getting away with it. And here's potentially that counterplay on the flashless FNB, but you can't dive a Rumble when the wave is gone.
Yeah, FNB, he is another thing that he has been doing so well is identifying when there is a gank coming and not just saying, I'm going to hold my tower. I'm sure I can 1v3 this one. He goes, nope, I'm just going to walk away. I'm not going to give away free gold. Use the Rumble ult, clear the wave. Don't make yourself an easy target. Keep that gold advantage growing as the bot lane tower falls for Titan. First turret gold in his pocket. We've got a potential dragon fight on our hands.
So Loud right now, they're using this just to give Robo time on the top side. They want to force Red to spend more time than would otherwise want.
There's the CS, the CC combo onto Seos. Frosty and Envy catch him slipping in the brush. And it's the second dragon for Loud. And it's a Hex Tech Rift Hawk. This is perfect for Red.
You know, they wanted Red to spend more time than they would otherwise want. The problem is they died. So they end up giving over more for it. Dragon and a kill for eventually this top lane tier 1. But that's not really that great of a trade.
Yeah, and looking at just the way this game is going right now, after game 3, obviously it's disappointing for Red to lose a game that was so far in their control, but me with my 3-2 Red prediction was feeling like, I actually feel even better about it. Even though they didn't win the game in the end, they've shown now Red, more often than not, they can just outperform Loud in the early and mid game and set themselves up to win the late game as well. Their team fight is on point, except when they completely lose their minds. So they're once again in control in this game. All they have to do is not do the last 50% of that game, right? This is what we asked for them.
As long as Titan can just play like Ruler instead of Jackie Love, like,
yeah,
this game might be a win. Like,
just
I mean,
be
last
Jackie
game
Love.
should have been, but this game definitely, yeah.
Or no, sorry, don't be Jackie Love. Be Ruler. Just be Ruler.
Be Ruler. Don't be Jackie Love. Yeah.
That's the coaching from Hawk here today.
Yes. Be like the best AD carry in the world, not one of the best AD carries in the world. Easy. 5 head, okay?
Yeah, it's huge. It's massive from Hawk right here. This is the insight that we get on the CBLOL English, as Red have been happy enough to soak up the waves around. FNB, though, is maybe looking to get rotated on. Aegis covering again. The Red jungler knows who he has to beat.
This is like the hard-hitting analysis that we got yesterday from Yeso, where he said, just don't give Zeri 2 kills. Like, we're brilliant here on the CBLOL.
Okay, let's see if Loud can do that, right? Don't give Zeri 2 kills. There's the analysis. Remember that one, Loud, as Titan has had to throw the white flag up. Cleanse away. Low on HP, and Loud successfully did not give him 2 kills. So, you know, good job.
True. And more free time for Robo in the top side. I actually like that little bit of an engagement right there from Loud. They get the TP out of Envy. Not going to be the tower going down as he opts to take the base, but creeps denied. Small wins where you can find them. Red continuing to hold on to their 2,000 gold advantage. They want to extend with this Herald, but they are dropping waves.
Yeah, they're giving a lot of respect, right, Envy? Not just heading back up there. You can see FNB once again backing away in bot side, even though it is just Tinones. He has no vision control around there. Red are the ones with the pinks and all the brushes. And FNB does not want to give that gold away. Another defensive equalizer just to keep the structure alive and buy time for Aegis up here.
So I will say, impressively, Trajan, Robo's actually up in farm over FNB now, despite being very far behind early on. He was like 20 down, so
yeah,
pretty well played by Loud to get their Olaf back into the game in a point where he might not be useless later on. Still remains to be seen whether or not that will actually happen, but the way things looked, it was dire, and the fact that he is relevant in this game at this point, it did cost his team a lot, but it means they still definitely have a chance in this game.
Yeah, I remember we went into this period where Loud just seemed very, very inactive, very almost over-respectful, as you put it, and then they got that one opening, and suddenly they were everywhere. They were everywhere on the map, catching, doing great rotations, getting all the maximum value out of all of their plays, and right now they do seem to have settled back into that kind of defensive. We're going to push these waves in. We're not going to go too crazy. We're going to wait for our opportunity and bide our time. Oh, that's the real one. Always use this route. There's the opportunity for the flash from Envy's perfectly timed. Lovely resonating strike. It's a kick back from Croc. This is the play they've been looking for. And they'll take a clean one on the red mid laner.
That was so clean by everybody involved. Tinones stays to make the play. Oh, hang on, Seos.
Titan doesn't have the cleanse. He's slowed up by a perfect solar flow from Seos. Rotation coming down from Frosty as well. As the turret goes down top lane, Seos is not going to be assisted here. Croc would rather do a camp. And now Tinones is going to TP away.
Is he a pillar?
Stop him with the turrets. Oh, the perfect pillar. And Tinones does the fight his way out of this one. Titan's there as well, but there's a Seer tower to make this one tricky for them. Croc with no kick. Tinones with no Emperor's Divide, and Frosty to still make this unfair. Nautazult is there. The knock up, the CC is too good. And the Sun Disc can't swing it. Double kill for Aegis as FNB's even holding mid lane. Brute has to use the ult, has to cleanse as FNB have a harpoon, he's got the slow. One more flame spear will get the flash, and it's a killing spree for Rumble.
Last time around, you were talking about how it was red. Once they made a mistake, Loud came back. But Trajan, this time, Loud, they make a big mistake, overstaying in the bottom side. It is not yet their time to bring this back, as I believe that is 4 kills going over, answered only for that initial pick onto Envy. Red, really nice rotations right there. Great teamwork to take him down. So much going to be lost by Loud off of the back of this. Mid control, dragon control, and the gold advantage.
A lot of summoners missing from Loud right now. If they wanted to contest this, it just got a whole lot riskier. Frosty gatekeeping in the river. Seos doesn't mind that. Goes straight in for it. Robo doesn't have the ghost, but he's got a decent flank angle here. And Red really wants to get this dragon done. Titan as well into the pit now. Doesn't have flash, doesn't have his E. He's got to fight this one out. But there's no way he can escape. A Loud answer back in the dragon pit. Envy will be caught up as well. And it's Hextech point for Red, but more go back for Loud.
How does Loud keep finding these windows? Last game, Loud came back because Red made a critical error. This time, it's a beautiful team fight from Loud.
Oh, FNB, he's picked the fight with Robo, and he's got the exhaust, but it's just about enough as the equalizer comes down as the saving grace. And Robo will fall again, but Loud's just doing Baron, I suppose.
Robo's life is a small price to pay for Loud. They're going to get the Baron. This is going to bring the gold back to Dead Even, and Root is able to ult out of the pit and get a kill.
He just has been caught. Croc looking for Frosty. There's a dredge line to save him. Big gold in the pocket for Tino's here, and Loud. They've wound up 800 gold ahead after all of that.
There's no way this is going to happen again, Trajan. Red, they get caught out at the dragon. Loud wins the fight. The Baron goes over. It's so similar to game 3. Titan, all the while, not as turbo-fed as he was last game. And at this point, the Azir Kaisa, very, very powerful on 2 items. And Red's composition, they do outscale, I think, just a little bit, but not a lot of bit, because that Azir Kaisa scaling, again, cannot be understated. I cannot believe that Loud has managed to find their way back into this one. Let's take another look at this dragon fight. Seos, it looks like he's overextending, but with the stopwatch stays alive, and a great snipe from Root keeps the fight at a 4v5. And once Titan gets trapped in the pit, Red forced to scatter. The positioning, the setup was completely botched. I think they thought that they could get a free dragon and just walk out. But Loud contested, and they were not ready.
And now Red, let's just cast our minds back and remember the wise words of Rude Dude. Take a breath. Mental reset. Do not spiral out of control like you did last time. You're less than 1,000 gold behind. You've got Hextech Soul Point to play for. You've still got scaling, and it seems like they are listening to those words. They are playing defensively. They're willing to step back and just say, okay, we botched that, guys, but we're still fine. We're gonna be okay. Let's just think of another plan.
I mean, this game is still very close, and especially depending on how much Loud gets off this Baron, Red is going to be perfectly fine. It's just an ARAM play. No side lane Olaf, anything like that. Red has a lot of wave clear in their composition as well.
That Sundis up with the Baron and powered wave. They won't get much damage onto the inner. Loud will retreat back, clear out what camps they can. Try and suck away that value from Red to extend that gold lead. The recalls are coming through. Looks like overall the play has stopped. 30 seconds left on the Baron. There could be a little bit more for Loud to find in the top lane, perhaps. But Red are going to keep it nice and steady.
And now everything slows down. Once again, Loud bearing down on this tier 2. They should be able to get it. But again, Red, you just can't lose the game off this Baron. 2,000 gold in the hole is fine. You can come back from that. You've still got a Zeri. At 25 minutes in the game, that gold lead will not end you. What will is letting your base get broken, and it seems they've been able to hold.
One of those big 2-item spikes being hit by Loud over the course of that play. Sterek's done for the Lee Sin, gives him that extra survivability. Jack Show with a stopwatch for Robo plus Summoners. He's got a lot of survivability now as well. And those scaling carries that you talked about, Hawk, the Kai'Sa, the Azir, are barreling towards that point where they can become real big problems for people like Titan, like Aegis, these short-range carries that don't love playing into the Sand Soldiers.
Now, speaking of real big problems, though, Red does still have the Hextech Soul point. The most powerful Dragon Soul in the game is theirs for the taking. So Loud, they still have to execute around this dragon. Remember, they're only a 1,500 gold ahead now. Most of that Baron was coming back into the game. So all things considered, it's very even. And with the threat of the soul, Red has the chance to get a game-winning advantage despite everything. They didn't panic. Now they need to cash in and prove that they can still close this one out.
Oh, they're on vision. They're on vision. Okay, they spotted it. Okay, I thought it was going to get very, very messy for them as FNB's walked around to the team as well. We're going to need to have a big equalizer from FNB to get the value out of this rumble. Croc's looking for a flank. He has the flash, but he'll hold it for now.
Envy procced the crown of Tinones with the rocket belt. Super intelligent play right there. And battle lines have been drawn. No one's trying to flank. It's going to be a straight-on front to back.
Supports hook onto each other. Frosty flashes away. Down comes the equalizer. It's damage, but it's not too much control right there. Robo burning lower. Has to drop his summoners as an ult. He's so low. He's out of the fight. Has to go and heal up on a jungle camp. Will it be enough time for Red to win the fight off the back of it? The junglers are still healthy. Croc looking for control. The dragon resets. Robo is healing up by the second. And that FNB ultimate isn't going to come to anything if the Olaf can still compete.
All the carries still have ulti. Tinones, Emperor's Divide, Envy, Pop Blossom, but here goes Croc!
Frosty's been caught, Croc is in, but Croc is down. Watch for Robo, Titan flashes away, he stays alive for this time being. FNB gets a kill and flashes away too. Tinones is dropping lower and lower, and Titan wants to get the kills. He's trying to put rings around them as Aegis is onto Seos, but Root flies in with the killer instinct to save their support. Titan now on his own. Robo wants to catch him. He's got no ult. Titan wants to take this fight. Do you win this 1v1? Did you just toss the series on this 1v1, Titan?
Titan tried to take down Robo, but it's the Void Seeker from Root. And Red, they thought they could risk it all on their Zeri, but they didn't have the health bars on the rest of the team. Titan frontlining in the middle of everybody, but look at this engage. Croc, no fear, runs forward. Aegis is just not tanky enough in Tinones, man. Buying time in the front line. Emperor's Divide with the stopwatch means that Titan cannot continue to run forward. His ulti runs out on the backside, and in this one-on-one, he would have won it. But the Void Seeker from Root is the difference maker. That one extra auto difference means that he can't get the kill, and now Loud, they're on a Baron. If they secure this, Red, your series might be slipping away.
Again.
Get away.
Again, the kill leader's gone on Red. They look desperate. They don't want to let this go. They don't want to let it fall away from them again, but Frosty's been caught away from the team with the kickback. And Red lose the support. Now 5,000 is the gold deficit. Somehow, Loud always managed to play it better. And then the series is theirs for the winning.
Croc team fighting so well on this Lee Sin, but Root on this Kai'Sa is really the man that you have to watch. 5, 1, and 3. He has put Red on his back game after game. Doesn't matter if he has a champion puddle of just one, because you know what? Red has not had an answer the entire series. And this 6,000 gold lead now, that is substantial. Red, they didn't panic at the first Baron. They kept things close. They still had a winning position. But it seems that it might have been squandered, Trajan, barring a miracle or perhaps a mistake from Loud.
Yeah, they kept it calm. They looked for a fight. It looked like they had a decent idea going into it, but FNB couldn't find the value as Croc goes deep. They might walk into a death rush here. This could be the mistake the Loud make as Croc is caught.
Okay, great pick.
He's got the stasis though. If he manages to slip out of this one, it'll be insane, but he won't get away with it. Titan is low, has to back away. And there's no Dragon for now. It's a clean pickup, a Baron buff taken away, and Red lose nothing.
That's a great pick for Red. It should slow down the Baron push of Loud without the Lee Sin. No threat of diving under these tier 2s. They might lose bottom, but the wave hasn't even been ushered up yet. Red, they're going to be back in time, so keeps the game interesting. And let's just remember, Trajan, the stakes of this series, not only is it that the winner gets to go play Pain in the winners finals, but Loud, they are trying to three-peat for the first time in CBLOL history. Many have tried. Red, Titan, part of those that have tried. But every single one has stumbled at that elusive third straight championship. And Loud, they stumbled many times during the regular season. 13-5, coming in as the third seed. But here against the Red Canids, after a brutal game one, they have looked like the better team. They have held their nerve better than their opponents. And they're well on their way to yet another date, seemingly with Destiny in Pain.
Loud with the Baron Wave pushing in. Envy gets the Pot Blossom, catches onto Root as well, but he evaporates to the front line, and Root gets away from the equalizer as the rest of the damage firing back from Loud is insane, and Croc with the kickback flies back in from the death for the game-winning kick, and Loud, just like that, the Baron buff's about to run out, but the death timers are far too long, Hawk. I think they've just done it.
Red tried to fight for the tier 2, but Loud in the 5v5 stands tall. They are coming for that crown a third straight time. They've got Pain Gaming in their sights next week.